Alright, so if you're watching this video, you probably play chess. And if you don't play chess, I don't know why the algorithm recommended this to you, but welcome anyway, right? But most of us play chess, right? And most of us have had a first game, right? This is my first game, right? This is a brilliant concoction of moves. I do not know how I am not the next Magnus Carlsen. So here it is. First off, we play e4, right? Standard chess. I've been playing this since the very beginning, which is pretty crazy, right? But that just shows that I knew so much about the game, bro. I knew e4 was the best. He plays e5. I play d3. This is called the Leonardus variation, according to chess.com. Leonardus was my boy, right? He taught me this opening himself, right? So I'm just a master at this. He plays d5 trying to control the center, not knowing that I am a master of pawn play. c3, doing something or another. I don't know what that does, but it does something, right? Leonardus told me. So c3, he plays f6, right? We're just moving pawns around here. I play f3, right? I'm really supporting that e4 pawn, right? I'm just making sure that no one can ever attack that pawn. Is genius play. He plays c6, right? h3. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light square pawns. This light square bishop is going to suffer for the rest of its life. But this dark square bishop is going to thrive, and that's how I'm going to win this game, right? He plays bishop c5, putting his bishop in the center. Now d4. Now look at this pawn structure, right? We got this like mega center, right? This is the clash of the titans, right? Happening in the center of the board. We both control it so well, right? And d4 also lashes out on that bishop, right? Bishop moves back. Now we bring the knight out, further supporting this pawn, right? Because that pawn is just such a valuable asset, and now that d4 has been pushed, we're not protecting that. You see, this is what Leonardus was saying, right? He decides to take my d pawn instead, right? I decide not to take back, because that's an amateur move, right? I move my knight to b3, right? Look at this. 1, 2, 3 attackers. That's genius play. Right? Now I'm guaranteed to win the pawn back, right? So you decide to play knight e7, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied. We're putting another knight on that pawn, right? That pawn is going to die, right? And I am making sure that it does. So I put all the pressure on it. He develops his bishop, right? I take the pawn. He takes my knight. I take his bishop, right? Queen d6, just developing the queen as normal, right? Not any suspecting move here, nothing crazy. So I lash out with brilliancy. g3. Now here's the thing. I understand that hangs upon, and I understand it hangs upon with check, but it controls the h4 square, and that is brilliance. That is key. This is a Magnus Carlsen level play, right? He plays c5 because he knows the strength of g3, right? He doesn't want to take the pawn because he understands that it is a sacrifice of the gambit. He doesn't want to fall right into my trap, so he just kicks my knight out. And so I attack his queen, right? He takes my pawn now, right? But this is where he falls into the trap, right? I understand that the evaluation is minus 3.8 to black. However, watch me cook, right? I move my king up, right? He plays knight a6, right? Trying to defend this square, right? Even though it's already defended with the queen, right? So we got two defenders on here, not like that, like this, so that the knight can't come into fork, right? Knight comes into fork anyway, right? This is genius, right? The idea is that if he takes, what I'm going to play is c4, right? This is a pawn break, right? As the grandmasters say, right? And I understand that this pawn break leads to a negative 16 evaluation for black. However, you're gonna have to trust that it's good anyway, right? So he takes the other pawn, the defended pawn, right? Because he doesn't want to fall right into my pawn play traps because he knows that I'm just that slick with the pawns. I take back. Now he puts his queen right into the line of sight of my bishop, right? And I capitalize. That's why I played knight c7 check. It was for this brilliancy. It was for this trap that I knew he was going to fall for, right? So he decides to take the pawn with check, right? I'm still 4 points up of material, right? He attacks my queen, I just slide it out of there. He attacks my bishop, I defend the bishop, right? Making sure everything's tight, nothing's loose, nothing's undefended, right? We trade bishops, right? He plays this move b6. Don't know what this does. It creates a diagonal. Diagonals are cool, I guess. That's pretty valid. Diagonals are pretty cool. I rook lift, right? This genius rook lift. What it does is it lifts the rook, and it's genius, right? And he does the same thing. He slides his rook over. I put my queen up, and he rook lifts as well, right? He's trying to be me. He understands my ability. And so I play a4, right? Controlling the b5 square. Because, of course, so many pieces can go to the b5 square, such as the king. You could also get the rook on that square, like this. You could also get a knight in like that, or a knight in like that. Of course, you know, there's so many pieces could go on the b5 square. We need to cover it, right? So then he lashes out with g5, attacking my bishop. I slide back. He puts his knight forward, right, to g6, trying to control some squares. I lift my other rook up because, look, if you don't know already, rook lifts are good. So then here's the thing, right? As you can see by the arrow, my bishop can take the knight, right? He is attacking my queen. He is attacking my rook. This is what the grandmasters call a fork. Now, most cases like this, people get scared. People are like, oh no, I'm getting forked. I need to take the piece. No. You do not need to take the piece. Here I transformed into prime Hikaru and played King E2 delayed Mega Bong Cloud variation. And this gives black an evaluation of 9.4. But it's winning. He takes my queen, right? I sack another rook, right? In order to take this pawn because I understand the value of that pawn. He takes my rook, I take back. Now I have brilliant pawn structure, right? I got doubled A pawns, an isolated E pawn, and an isolated H pawn, right? It's brilliant. So then he tries to trade rooks, and I'm like, no, I'm trading on my own terms. If you're going to trade rooks with me, I'm going to take over my king, right? So he puts the rook in the line of sight of this bishop, right? And so what I'm saying is, you know what? Instead of that, I'm going to push my pawn. So that if you take, I take your rook. And now, you're still winning. But, it's only by pawns. And pawns are useless. Unless I'm using them. Right? So this is happening, right? He takes my pawn. Notice his time, right? He's got 49 seconds. I've got like over 2 minutes more of that, right? So he's stressing, right? I don't. This never happens, right? In fact, he actually plays rook takes, right? Now I put my king forward, right? He plays c4 trying to promote. I run back, right? He's trying to promote, and then I let him promote, right? He checks me, and then I go away, right? Because I'm too scared, right? But here's the thing. Being scared is not a bad thing, right? Because when he queens, right? He queens, and now I'm just running away. And now he's trying to move his pieces forward, but he got 16 seconds at the clock. I got way more than that. I can take my sweet time, right? He can't. He takes my pawn, right? I sacrifice my bishop, right? It's a genius play. And then he takes the bishop. I take his pawn. He pins my pawn to the king. I move out of the way. He moves back because he doesn't know what to do. I move back, and his time is up. This is brilliant chess. I don't have any courses out right now, but if you want to play just like this, let me know. I will make a million courses on how to get to 972 ELO. I'm telling you, I'm a genius. This was brilliant from past me. But in all seriousness, what the hell was I doing? It's Mate and 4 here. I got hella lucky. Fair enough to me.